Hi everybody, this is Liz and Lady Lovely Lashes with 143 Handmade. We're going to be working on Map Monday today. And today's element that we're going to concentrate on is these that I consider dragon's nests. This is what that is in my head. They are kind of inspired by like the cliffs that you see in deserts where there's just these rock formations that have just been wind blown for who knows how long, right? So my preferred drawing method is with pencil on coffee stained paper, not on white paper, but it doesn't show up so well on camera. And so we're going to get started today with a Sharpie. This is an ultra fine point, and that is all I used to create this. It's just the ultra fine point Sharpie. And so we're going to get started. I just start by drawing like a loose oval. My pen tip is a little bit bent, so I have to find the right angle. And I try not to fill it in completely like that. I try to leave it a little bit loose. And then what I'll do is, depending on the angle I want, you know, the larger the angle, the bigger the back rim will be. The shallower the angle, the more narrow that will be. And so we'll go ahead and pick that's the lip. So that kind of gives you an idea of how thick the rock is. And then I'll just kind of come down like so, kind of like a wine glass, something like that. Like that. And I turn the paper a lot when I draw. It's something I highly recommend to new artists is to move the paper. You know, even when you're working digitally, go ahead and get familiar with that turning the paper, because it will make a big difference in your final work. And this one's going to have a good wide base. There we go, like that. And then let's sketch in real quick next to that a pillar, just a pillar, not another nest. There we go. And then let's go up here for another nest. But drawing is one of those things that, like, I can walk you through my process, but really it's more about muscle memory than anything, and you need to just get your medium, whether it's pen, paper, charcoal, digital pen, and your drawing tablet. You know, it really doesn't matter. Just whatever it is, whatever your preferred drawing medium, you just need to get it in hand and do some more practice, do more, and whatever it is that you're wanting to do, you know, do some more of it. And so see how I'm just kind of loosely, and I'm really trying hard not to overthink my overlapping lines, and you know, like I am somewhat thinking about what's in front and what's behind, but at this point not super critically. Obviously this one is definitely in front, you know, but like which one of these is in front? That's still totally changeable. Which one of these is in front? You know, that sort of thing. I'm not really worried about that yet. I'm just, you know, and I will continue to do this and draw and draw and draw. My rough sketch. So that once I get it all, however I'm gonna, you know, fill the page. And that is typically how I will do it. This one I did just a couple, just to have something quick to show you. Okay, so, but typically when I'm drawing like a map or, because see, I draw these in two circumstances. One, within a world, and so then I'll just draw however many are right for that world, right, on a map. Or if I'm just sketching, just to sketch, just to doodle, to practice my skills, I will just fill the page. So that's how that works in my head. Thank you for visiting, lady. Have fun. Okay. So, let me see. Yes, okay, I'm still getting framed really well. The next step, to take this sketch, because these two, you know, first to admit, they look quite different, right? You know, This one doesn't look so good. This one looks like something a child could do. This one, not as much. I mean, some children, but, you know, I think that one looks like it, you know, is taking it to the next level. So, the next thing that I like to do is decide what is going to actually be in front. As I said, this one is obviously in front, so I will start with doing that one first. And I'll go ahead and just top it off. Oh, something else I have to decide at this point is which way is my light going to come from? You know, my light is actually coming from this direction in my room. You know, it is shining this direction. So I'm just going to work with that. This will be my light direction, so this side will be my shaded side. So now I know which side I can... Because with a Sharpie, one of the cool things of drawing with a Sharpie over a pencil is that it's the same motion, but if I just do it a little bit slower, the line is a little bit thicker, but if I do it quick, it's thinner. So what I'm doing is when I'm working this side is I just move a little bit slower, so that way those lines are just a little bit on the thicker side. And then on this side I just work a little bit quicker. Use a little bit smaller, thinner line. It's okay if every once in a while you get a thick one. You know, that's totally natural. That's how that would work. And then I'll just extend a few of these on down so that way it makes sense. And these are just, you know, like when you're drawing mountains, that sort of a line. It's just, you don't want it super straight. I can't really explain it because it's a controlled wiggle, but it's chaotic all at the same time. And so I try really hard not to have like a pattern to it. You know, it's not, because like I also draw like swirls and stuff, and that's, you need a consistency with those. So this is one of those things that I draw that's very chaotic, and it's hard to explain to people who haven't drawn a lot, but it's just one of those things that you just practice. And so what I'm doing here is I'm imagining these little lines that I have are the other side of this mountain, right? And so this rock face doesn't just drop off, you know, it still exists all the way down, but you're not necessarily going to see every, like, a solid line there. And so what I'm doing is I'm just imagining that line, and I'm just kind of dropping the pen and lifting the pen and creating the effect of that line without having to draw it all the way down. See that? And so now this looks a little bit more substantial. This looks more like a spine that comes towards you, a sharp point. And then, you know, I'll start working on shading. And I know I said I was going to go with the light, but I just naturally started shading on that side. So we're going to work with it. This ridge will just be a little bit darker. There we go. And then we'll just come back here and add a little bit of heavy lines on this side. And there we go. And so that one's good for now. And then I will pick which one's next, kind of thing. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to this guy and show you how I do this edge. I really like having these the lines that don't connect, because then what I do is I just kind of use those and to create the unevenness of a rock. See that, how it's not just a line? Every one of these has its own connection point, and because it's going in, it's just slightly in from the last one. For the most part, this one did jump on out, you know, and that's good too, because it's not gonna, you know, when the wind wears on something, it doesn't do it exactly precisely evenly, right? That's not how that works. So, and then I will just kind of follow this down, and again, just start working my lines, my little squiggles, because they just extend on down. They aren't quite straight. And but they give your eye the impression of that linear rock, right? And you can play with this. You know, I highly recommend playing with this and the lines and how hairy you like it versus how dark and you know whatnot you like your lines. So, you know, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that inspires somebody to start doodling and maybe gives you an idea for another effect. But my number one recommendation is if you want to draw. It really doesn't matter what you use. Just pick up that paper, pick up that whatever your medium is. Excuse me, sorry for my sniffles. It's an allergy day. But you know, pick up your digital pad, pick up your whatever, and just whatever effect it is that you're struggling with, fill a page with it. You know, do a huge amount of it. Do some everyday practice. You know, do more of it, because you're not going to get better avoiding it. You know, that's just not how that's going to work. Practice is the key to life. So, whether it's art or just anything, really, anything in life that you want to do, you got to practice. And so, one thing I do like to do is I do like to come back in with my big marker and darken that inside really well. And just fill that in. So that way you understand when you're looking at this that there's a down in there, right? Like now it makes sense. You know, on this, like it doesn't look as good, right? And that's totally, you know, to be expected, right? So thank you so much. I can't tell you all how much I appreciate you and every single minute we spend together. I will see you again soon. You wanna go outside? Okay, just a second.